Hey, friends. I think we are live. We're good to go. Listen, it's PPJ, and I'm coming to you from a little different location. I am on the road. So you'll see the difference in the rooms and camera and all that. But listen, we're not going to stop this train because every evening in the month of July, I'm coming to share with educators. Listen, you give so much. You give so much to everybody, and it's time for you to fill your cup. I want to give you some strategies and some tools so that you can have the best school opening you've ever had, friend, because no matter what the challenge is, you will be equipped to deal with it. So that is why we're here every evening in July at 7 p.m. And I'm going to jump right in because I'm not going to hold you long. So tonight we're transitioning. So we spent some time checking your baggage. Remember, we're headed from burnout to brilliance, right? We started at checking your baggage, your backpack. What are you carrying? What's heavy on you? What no longer aligns with your life? And now we're moving on to building boundaries. Now, don't leave me, friend, because I know everybody thinks they know how to build boundaries. But I'm here to tell you that we talk a lot about boundaries, but who's teaching you how to build them? So, over the next few nights, I am going to walk you through how to build boundaries that last, how to build boundaries that work. When you think about boundaries, I want you to think about safety. Your boundaries are not a cute idea from social media, but they are safety. And when you don't have boundaries, then you are exposed to everyone or everything that comes your way. I want you to think about your yard, right? And if you don't have a fence around your yard, then you can't be mad that the neighbor's dog always comes over because there's no boundary. There's no fence. There's nothing to keep them out. Your boundary is not about isolation, but it is about controlling what you can control. How do you control who or what has access to you? Your body, your mind, your heart, your relationships, your family, your environment. How do you keep it sacred? Anything that means the most to you, how do you keep it protected? How do you keep it sacred? What means the most to you? And what are you unwilling to lose? We're going to talk more about that tomorrow. We're really going to dig in to teach you that the foundation of boundaries are your values, not a measure of your integrity, but what means most to you and what are you unwilling to lose. But tonight, I just want to share with you why you need boundaries. And the next few nights, we're going to build some. We're going to build some boundaries that you can take into the new academic year that will help you stay safe. I want you to be safe where you are, and your safety is in your hands. You don't have to be vulnerable to wait for environments and systems and organizations and corporations and to keep you safe. You can keep yourself safe by having some boundaries in place. So when I think about boundaries, I think about an ancient city. I'm talking years and years and years ago. Ancient cities had stone walls around them, and those walls went several feet deep and several feet high. And again, not for isolation, but for control and protection. There were always watchmen on those walls, and those watchmen would let down the bridge or not, right? So they would determine who would gain access unless there was an attack, and that is possible, right? So the watchman would determine who should gain access and who didn't. So you didn't go up to an ancient city with your backpack saying, "Hey, I just came to see my cousin." That's not how this worked, friend. You had to have permission to enter the city. And that's how the cities defended themselves. That's how they protected themselves before they even had to defend. Let me say that right. That's how they protected themselves before they even had to defend. What walls have you put around what means the most to you? Where do you draw the line? What are you unwilling to lose? I can tell you that when I was in rock bottom burnout, everything that meant the most to me was in jeopardy. And over the last few years, I've been fighting to regain it and to protect everything that means the most to me. You got to draw the line somewhere because everything you allow in costs you something. Every relationship you allow in, every job you do, every volunteer thing that you do, every conversation that you have, everything you read, everything you listen to, everything you allow in costs you something. Your attention, your time, your emotions, your effort, everything costs you something. And you don't have an unlimited supply. So you have to protect. You have to protect what matters most to you. You have to decide what you're willing to pay and what you're not willing to pay. I spoke with a group of folks yesterday, and there was a person in the room who said, if my job jeopardized my health, I would be looking for a new career. That's a line for that person. That's a line for that person. Another person said, I have a new baby. And before this baby, I was head first in everything. But now she is my priority. And whatever I have to do to take care of her in this time where she can't take care of herself and I'm her everything, that's what I'm going to do. And that doesn't mean you don't do a good job when you're at work. Remember, that's out of integrity. We don't even talk about that. That doesn't mean that you totally isolate yourself and don't connect to people, but it means that you're intentional with your choices. Have you been intentional with your choices? Let me say it like this. Have you been intentional with your yes? Are you intentional with your yes? Do you intentionally decide where you're going to place your yes? Because every yes costs you something. Every yes. So as you are going into this new academic year, you know what August looks like. You know that it takes more energy to get things up and running. So what are you going to lay aside or say no to because you know the cost of August? Where are you going to give yourself grace? Where are you going to give yourself breathing room? Where are you going to have think time? What about for the rest of July? Right? So we're at July 14th now. And I know many of you, if you've been out, you go back to school in a week or so. Many educators have not been out at all. You work through the summer, but we know that this is right before things hit. So, what are you going to do to protect your next week and a half, your next couple of weeks? What do you need to do to prioritize what means most to you? And nobody gets to tell you what means most to you. You are the only person who can decide that. Oh, I'm getting into tomorrow. Okay, back up, PPJ. For today, my goal was just to introduce you to the reason why you need to build boundaries, and not just boundaries, but good boundaries, friend. You need boundaries that you have the fortitude to hold. And you only have the fortitude to hold a boundary when it's connected to something that means the most to you. So, what are you going to do to protect yourself as you start this new year and as you go throughout the academic year? What can you do to protect that which means the most to you? Okay? So, we're going to do this together. Tomorrow night, we're going to talk about values and we're going to keep going. I'm going to take you step by step on how to build a boundary. So when you come back tomorrow, I want you to have something in your mind, an area of your life where you know you need a boundary. Maybe you need a boundary concerning your mental health. Maybe you need a boundary concerning your physical health. Maybe you need a boundary concerning your own personal quiet time. Maybe you need a boundary concerning your family and not to sacrifice and jeopardize your family time to do all the things. You only know what matters to you. So when you come tomorrow, I want you to have in your mind what means most to me. What is something that means most to me that I need to protect a little better? And we're going to walk you through how to do it. All right. Listen, y'all, I got to go. If you have not grabbed your free sample of my new book, go to patricebucknerjackson.com/book. Grab the free sample. It's going to be a little bit more time before the book is ready and in stores and ready to order. So I wanted to give you something now. That's my gift for you, gift to you as you start this new academic year. So go grab it. And as always, you are powerful, you are significant, and you know you are loved. I'll see you tomorrow night. Bye, y'all.